What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Redcat Live. It's the one show where I just go around in everyone's cubicles, stealing all the parts I can find to bring you today's episode. Yeah! I'm excited about today, guys, because today marks the beginning of all of us here at Redcat getting ready for the one and only USTE, the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo, right? UST, yeah. It's a big event being hosted out in Florida. My first time going. I know for a lot of folks that know of the event, it's a great event. It's huge. It's kind of like the Scaler's Mecca, right? You're surrounded by so many amazing builders that love all kinds of different platforms and are into it because of their scale scene alone. You guys are probably asking why I have a bunch of parts in front of me. I'll get to that in a second. First and foremost, man, I want to say what's going on. Louis, what's up, brother? How are you? Man, it's a great day to be here, man. It's a great day to be alive. As I mentioned, at the beginning of the episode, we're gearing up. We're loading up and getting things ready to start shipping out and preparing for this year's, USTE event in Florida. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a big scale event, right? People come from all over the world to this one location. The folks that put on this event truly put in days, months, hours. You're talking 6 months of prep work into these trails. And they think about it, not just in the sense of, hey, it's a scale truck scene. No, they look at it as, where is the driver of this vehicle or the camera going to be located to get the best scale shots? Dude, I'm telling you, if that's not a scale mecca, I don't know what is, right? When they're thinking about how you're going to take pictures, how you're going to interact with your vehicle on their terrain. Like, that's huge. These folks are amazing. They put 6 months of work in every year. The head people that are in charge of the event pretty much live on site for weeks on end, preparing for the event on top of that. Lots of hands, lots of people coming from all over the realms to bring one epic scale event. From the builds that you see, to the trails that are made, to the scale garages and shops and gas stations. It is honestly an awesome event. And I am really excited to finally be able to participate in such an event and be there. And for once, I'm not building a super duper scale truck for the event, but I wanted to kind of highlight some things because we've been getting quite a bit of people asking, hey, we've been doing so many cool things with the lowriders. We've been doing so many cool things with, the Monte Carlo and the 64. The whole scene is amazing. You guys rock. Thank you. Thank you for making RC lowriders just blow up in that fashion. But we can't forget our roots. And here at Redcat, some of our roots stem to something like the Gen 7, which we highlighted a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and of course, the Gen 8. To a lot of you guys that are here today that have been following Redcat Live since the beginning, we actually had this exact Gen 8 being built here for you guys. We did a live unboxing of the same vehicle. This vehicle went to a couple different events. It got bashed on and thrashed on. You actually saw me install Treal Hobbies axles or axle housings, aluminum, transfer case housing, aluminum transmission housing. We went through all of it so that we can try to beef this thing up and, in essence, for something that we would do later on in the future. Well, the day is now. We've reached it. We're going to get ready to throw all of these parts, not here live, but we will be doing a build, and I'm creatively thinking as we go to highlight a vehicle that we want to bring out and have fun. Now, it's not going to be a super duper scale rig. And by that, I'm a little disappointed in myself by saying that, because why are you going to go to a super scale event and not support that? What I mean by that is I'm going to do my own little flair on a Gen 8. And by flair, I mean it's going to be really wildly out there. I got a lot of ideas. And so far what we have to work with is we have a Gen 8 V2, the purple edition. I got a Raw 500 ASD Reefs RC servo. This bad boy packs a mean punch. So this thing is going to end up with about 567 ounces of torque once we're done with it. Inside, it does have a Reefs 422 in it already, but you know, we want power. We want it fast. We want it powerful. We want to be able to move rocks when we steer, right? That's what crawling's about, right? A lot of torque with steering to be able to get yourself in and out of situations. That's the go-to. It already has an axe fork system inside of it. It is the, I believe, 20 or 3200 or 3300 kV system inside of it. I do need to do some tuning, and I do need to mess with the BEC, especially if we're going to be installing a lot bigger of a servo, right? It's going to need more power. So we're going to have to bump that bad boy up, and programming, which we will do before we head out there. As you can see, this Gen 8 has seen better days, right? Because it's the media Gen 8, quite often we end up taking parts off of it, swapping things here and there. Sometimes the guys in support come and take a look at it to, you know, kind of look at, say, okay, this customer has this concern. What do you see here? So we look at it together as a team and assess. What has transpired is this, just parts. Yeah, it happens. So, what am I thinking? Well, the other day, while we were actually, sorry, not the other day, a few months back when we were at ProRack by the Fire, we actually had this as a loaner truck, and we had people using it up and down. Unfortunately, the front bumper ended up taking a pretty big hit because they actually ended up tumbling it down the hill. No big deal, it happens, it was resilient, but the actual plastic mount for the original bumper broke off. No big deal. We checked out with some guys there locally. I believe we had RPP Hobbies was in town and doing sales and whatnot. So I went over and just copped a Stinger bumper and slapped one on. So that was kind of the first upgrade, so to speak, right? Aside from the Treal Hobby, you know, axle housings that we've already installed previously as well. So in essence, I don't believe I will be using the Gen A body. Because why, right? My train of thought is, let's have fun with this, right? We're going to an event where scale is important, and I want to make sure I give the respects where it's due to the scale scene, because it's where I come from. It's a scene that I love and adore, and I've spent so many years doing and highlighting myself, or not highlighting myself, I should say, working on myself and my skill set to be able to do more scale builds. And I've done a handful of them that I'm really proud of, but by no means am I anywhere near, you know, as talented as the guys that are going to be out at this event. And that's one of the highlights about USTE, is that when you go to an event like this, you get to rub shoulders and talk to builders, face to face, hand over hand. So many amazing people and so many amazing builders that are eager to share their secrets, right? How to do patina work. Maybe they did something that you haven't seen before, cutting doors and hoods open on a hard body that you may not have been normal. So literally, the sky's the limit when it comes to the scale scene, right? A lot of 3D printed parts. 3D printed parts are huge in that scene, in that fashion. Having a scale driver is important. So I'm thinking about these things and kind of mimicking in my head what I would like to do, right? So really quickly, let me make sure I say what's up to everyone really quick. I am so sorry, guys. I am all over the place. Frito, man, what's going on, brother? Jerry's in the house. Was that Eric Sasteno's in here too? What's going on? Fishing Bill, what's up, brother, man? Hey, Fishing Bill, man, I love your marksman, man. Keep up the great content. You're doing a great job. Keep sharing, man. I love it, man. Eli, so I likes haircut. Appreciate it, bro. Man. Andrew Steen's in the house, representing Modesto's finest out in Modesto, California, man. Much love. So what we have here, in essence, is a stripped down Gen 8 that has seen some better days as far as assembly. We have some good structure to work with, right? It's a Gen 8 nonetheless. We got a 422 Reefs RC servo. So underneath is kind of more or less what you would have found in our Axe Edition Gen 8. All I've done at that point is, like as mentioned, replace some things with some aluminum hop-ups, and in hopes that we can have a little more fun with them. One of the first things I started playing with today was I ordered some 90mm limiting straps, which you guys can hopefully see they're mounted right there. So what ends up happening is the down travel will only limit it to that length of travel of 90mm, depending on the position where I'm at. The cool thing about the Gen 8, and if you do something like that and want to lower the whole chassis down a little bit, something that I like to do to help lower CG, or center of gravity, I have adjustments, right? Adjustment points for those straps. So if I want to limit a little bit more, I can just keep going up the mounting points on the shock tower. I did the same with the rear. If you look at, let me see if I can, actually can't really tell on this angle, but at this point I have a little more droop in the front than in the rear. This will hopefully, when I'm crawling, and if I have a hole of a rock between two rocks, that'll allow hopefully that tire to just kind of dip in there and maintain traction to get me out of that rut. So I'm sorry to think, performance. And there's going to be a lot of guys in here that do really good work with Gen 8s and the crawlers, right? So if you guys have suggestions, shoot them at me. I'm all ears. If there's something that I can do that's going to be cool with this thing, then let's do it. We also need to come up with the name for this build, right? Because it's going to be a build that I literally have this week to build and highlight to you guys next Wednesday before we take off. Keep in mind, while I am out at USTE at the event, Redcat Live will not be on your normal time and day. That week, though, I will be going live, cell reception, permitting, to help show you guys some of what is going on out there and to kind of see what the scale RC crawler scene is all about. So back to the build itself. We have good bones. We have Treal Hobbies. You guys can see the axle there. We got Treal Hobbies axle housings, right? We got the aluminum portals on the outside for a little bit more rigidity, right? Strength. You got the servo in there, got the motor. We're good. We got structure. We're working with something. While walking in the shop and through people's cubicles, I was like, I need parts. I need to find things for this thing. What can we do to have fun with it and make it a little bit different? I found this. I don't know what it came off of yet, and I'm going to find out. But I'm thinking this would be kind of a cool roll cage after I trim and cut it and install it on the inside and then put a body of some sort on top of it. But then I'm thinking, what's going to be scale enough in that fashion that we can have fun and enjoy with? Bob Olson, what's going on, brother? How are you? There was a comment I read. I want to make sure I get to it. Hayden Bird says he'd love to see some overdrive gears for both the Gen 8 and the Wendigo Marksman. I agree. Underdrive, overdrive, in my opinion, are clear winners when you use them. And I think in any fashion that you can use them, you should use them. What does overdrive and underdrive do, right? In most case scenarios, you want overdrive to be in the front, underdrive in the rear, right? Which would allow the front tires to spin a percentage faster than the rear. The benefit to that is tighter turns. And if you're trying to make a tight turn where you're rutted in between rocks, kind of allows you to pull your front end out because the front is spinning a lot faster than the rear. Not the best situation for trailing, right? Or being on concrete in that essence, or pavement, I should say. But definitely, enjoyable and performance-wise a great mod to do when it comes to the crawling scene. So thank you, for that, Hayden. Definitely something I'm going to recommend to the guys in engineering. We'll put a pin in it and hopefully be able to come back to it and maybe something we can offer in the future. So thank you for that bit of information and suggestion. Treal does make some, yeah, but I love to be able to see some other options. And I agree with you, Hayden. If we can offer that, that'd be kind of cool in that sense as well, if it's something that can be done. So we got this, right? We're gonna, as I mentioned, chop it up, install it. I still got to find a body. I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to see. So I find this in someone's cubicle. We'll use that. Don't know how, but we'll use it. Reef's RC Raw 500 was in my cubicle. My donation to this build for this event. What else did I find? Someone had this net that we're going to use, and we also found someone had this rack with lights. So obviously this we'll use in conjunction with that and mount on top of a body at some sort. Run some lights to it so that we have some working lights. I even found some stacks, some header stacks laying around, jerry cans, Rotopacks, I believe, right? Some sand ladders. And of course, the icing on the cake, the jewelry, right? The ice, so to speak. Some CNC custom wheels wrapped around some Hyraxes. These are 2.2 wheels with some 1.9 stretch on them. I'm not a huge fan of the stretch look, but these bad boys are gorgeous. Hopefully, let me have my face here. There we go. We have some scale rotors on the back. They're actually made by the one and only TJRC Products. Great guy. And I don't even know if he makes them anymore. But we installed some scale hardware on them. And I'm thinking this is what this build needs, right? This is what it's going to need to kind of stand out a little bit more, so to speak, and look a little meaner and whatnot. So I got the full set. I'm thinking this is the way to go. I used these on the Wendigo build last year as well. So eager to see what it's going to look like on this and how it'll perform with the overall weight of the vehicle. Let's see here. David Leilani, what's going on, man? Representing Canada. What's up, brother, man? Yes, the Taco King is here. Unfortunately, I was not able to get some tacos today, but, you know, there's always tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. So, you know, taco diet's in full effect. So, yeah, so guys, so we have some parts that we've, you know, accumulated, and I'm going to find some more things between, you know, now and the end of the week so that I can get this thing built this weekend and hopefully highlight to you guys next week what I'm going to be taking with me to Florida this year. So, Finiqueros, what's going on, brother, man? Good to see you. Good to have you. So, nonetheless, guys, that's the platform. You obviously see it. You got a stinger in the front. It's a spare parts rig at this point. The end game is a fun crawler that hopefully performs. I think what I'm going to do with it, I'm going to shorten the wheelbase some, because I don't believe the standard wheelbase is going to work for what I want to do, but I'll play with it a little bit, and I do have something in store that I want to share with you guys next week when I unveil this thing to you guys before we go out. So with that said, you know, give me some ideas, guys. What is a good name that you guys can think of in this fashion? And maybe not. We may actually think about a name once you guys see it completely done, which could be fun too. Hey, appreciate it, Scott. T-shirt I actually picked up from, where would I get it? From American Spartan Apparel is where I ended up ordering it from. Had a great line of different ones. This is just one of my favorites. So appreciate that. So Mike York wants to know if we're going to be making any more Axe editions. At this given time, the Axe is paused. We no longer have the same relationship that we had with Hobby Wing, in the fashion that with everything going up, the chip shortage, manufacturing is through the roof, and it just did not make sense to continue in a fashion that may not make monetary sense or make money. You know, at the end of the day, it's got to make dollars and cents, right? So at this time, we've paused that project and we ventured to bring the Marksman. And the Marksman, although it did not come with a brushless system, it did offer a, you know, Hobby Wing 1080 waterproofed ESC paired with a Crawlmaster 13-turn motor from Holmes Hobby. Great combination by itself as well. Trying to keep that attribute that Redcat has been known for with the Axe, and even the 64 by offering a car that comes with a Reefs RC servo out of the box. So we're not going to stray away from that kind of work that we've done in the past, but at this given moment, the Axe is at just a standstill at the moment. So Gen 8s will still be created and be sold and distributed throughout anywhere we can get them into. And who knows, we got the Marksman going on right now. Engineering's got a lot of things they're working on. There's a lot of things I'm not privy to at this exact moment. And there's things that I do know that I just unfortunately cannot share just yet until we get to a good point. But I will say this, stay tuned. 2022, as I mentioned last year, going into this year, should be a great year for releases for us, and breaking the mold of what we've been doing in the past and continuing the realm of being innovative with the stuff that we offer our community. So stay tuned. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. Chaz, what's going on, man? Another representative of Northern California, the Modesto area. What's going on, brother? Oh yeah, Scott. So those of you guys that don't know, Scott's in the chat. And Scott actually owns the Creep. The Creep was a build that we highlighted for SEMA and ended up having at SEMA. Great, awesome truck. He says that he had to shorten his wheelbase as well to make that crawler. So, you know, definitely it's easy with the Gen 8. One thing I love and enjoy, unlike other manufacturers that we've seen, when you want to shorten a chassis, that usually just means you're going to swap links as well as drive shafts. In this situation, the way the Gen 8 was designed by our Redcat engineers, it's literally 4 screws and nuts. Release them, bring it in, and reinstall them, and you're done, right? So actually you got 4 on each side, 4 for the rear links and then 4 for the front. And they're actually, if you can see them, they're actually located right there. So they usually sit up here, and I've already moved them to the front location. And I did the same thing with both sides, the front and the rear. So thankfully, in that fashion, it's an easy thing to adjust. It's not, a crazy, hectic situation where you have to take off links, reinstall links, take off the drive shaft, remove the center of the drive shaft, and run a smaller one or a shorter end piece on the drive line itself. So the drive lines that we offer have enough telescoping distance that allows for a short wheelbase setup or a long wheelbase setup. Even on a short wheelbase setup, as you guys can see here, where the front tire sits, it's not tucked far, in this way. And the same thing for the rear, because this has already been shortened. You can see it sits there. It's not really sitting too far forward. So, great attribute and feature that is offered from the Gen 8. And a lot of you guys that are diehard Gen 8 fans already know all of this. I know I'm beating a dead horse. But remember, there's guys on here that have zero experience, if any, with the Gen 8, and kind of knowing some of these things that we discuss helps them make a buying decision that might be enjoyable for them in the future as well. So if you guys have, information that you guys want to share on the Gen 8 experiences, things that you've done with it, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Share the wealth, as lots of folks like to say. All right, Josh Fowler wants to know anything with tracks on a 6x6 or something to compete with the SC6. I like to say yes and no, right? One thing that we really want to venture out to do is we don't want to follow anyone else's trend. And I think at this given point, we've made it very clear by releasing the RC lowrider scene is that we're not going to do something just because someone else does it. A 6x6 has been brought up so many times. Trust me when I say it's on the board, of discussion topics that we've had as a team, as a squad, as a company, but we are not venturing to play with anything of that sort at this time. Hopefully in the future, closer to the end of the year, once we catch up with these awesome projects that we're working on right now, it might be something that we may turn to at that point, but don't leave us out just yet. You never know what the future can hold. He says, custom Gen 7 6x6. So Finikeros actually has one that he built. So Finikeros, if you want to share that information with them, man, rock it out, man. Show them and see what's good. So Jerry says he's going to bite the bullet and get one, and get a rock crawler. He comes from the Traxxas and Axial days, or setting, and is now looking at other potential. So Jerry, I've owned so many different brands, and I'm not here to bash any other brand in any way, shape, or form. A lot of them have awesome attributes that and features that offer them, and some of them just kind of fall a little short. I've had great experiences with all of them, and I've had horrible experiences with all of them. So it just ebbs and flows, right? When you're thinking about a crawler, you got to think about what you want, what you envision. And one of the hardest things for me when I first got into the crawling scene is, do I want to compete or do I want to go scale? Do I care as to either one, or do I just want to get out there? And what I ended up finding is that I was just so eager to get out there that I didn't care. I bought a chassis, literally just rails, because I had, another crawler in parts, and I just wanted to piece everything together just to get out, because I was on a super tight budget when I got into the crawling scene. Wife in school, me just out of school. The pocketbook didn't allow me to go out and buy a $300, $400, $500 setup. So, piecing things together was something I did a lot. Amazon was my best friend for many years. With that said, over the years, one thing that I always tell people that are looking for a crawler is to think about where you see yourself. Watch videos. YouTube has an amazing library of videos that people have done with builds on a, competition level to a scale crawler comp level, or even just a cheater rig which we'll get into in a little bit, and even just a generic crawler. There's so many avenues, and it really depends on what you want to do. If you are the kind of person that likes and are a big fan of the scale scene, I like the Gen 8 platform for that instance. And then I would probably trim, my wheel wells and use a hard body on it made by another manufacturer or aftermarket manufacturer, because that's the style that I'm into. I love building the Toyota hard bodies on any platform. That's kind of my signature thing that I like to do. So, with that said, find something that fits your needs. I think for your pocketbook needs, the Gen 7 is a great entry-level crawler for the buck that offers a multitude of options and growth that you can grow within that platform. Gen 8 equally, stout in that fashion. Portals are huge. Most companies are offering portals, and portal axles give you, obviously a drop down with gearing in the portal housing itself to allow a lot more clearance here. Unlike the first editions of, let's say, like the Gen 7, right? It's a solid axle, doesn't have as much clearance. So keep all those things in mind, when what you want to build and where you want to end up in that fashion. Now, if you want to build a cheater rig, then you're going to buy everything customized in that fashion, right? You're going to buy, aftermarket carbon frame rails and a Delrin skid plate. You're going to be running certain kinds of shocks and or limited to a certain size. Everything is really big on center of gravity with builds like that. So low weight in the front, stiff suspension in the rear, soft in the front. Sky's the limit, right? You can run a lightweight truggy body on it, or just a cab and a flatbed in the back to minimize weight, because race car, right? Kind of a sense. So again, lots of options for you out there, brother. Thank you so much, Josh, for filling in and helping answer some questions as well. Frito says he's got a Land Rover and he loves it, man. Right on, bro. Good. Appreciate that. And Frito, just to mention, man, I have nothing against any other brand. I've played with so many of them over the years, and as I mentioned, nowhere bashing any other company by any means. I just want to highlight the Gen 8 and what we at Redcat offer, right? Because it's our product. So much love for that. So with that said, we are going to do a Gen 8 build for the USTE event coming up. Now, my ideas are, and I'm going to get some hate for this. I know it. I know there's going to be some folks out there that are going to hate me for this. I don't care because I venture to be different. And I think, all in all, crawler, Gen 8, great platform. We'll put some wheels on it, get some more scale hardware, maybe get some hub adapters, some scale ones, slap a body on it. We'll add lights, maybe some rock lights. As I mentioned before, we got a roof rack that we can add some lights to as well. I got some turbo manifolds for whatever body I choose to use to make it look like it's got some turbos and, just spitting fire out. So lots of options, lots of things I have that I'm waiting on. I should arrive within the next day or so to hopefully have all done and unveil to you guys what I'm going to be taking to USTE, Florida, in just a few weeks. Yes, Tony, we got to make sure it's got the King Taco sticker on it too. So if you guys want to see, and I know, like I said, I'm going to get some flack for this. You guys aren't going to like this. But I'm not going to do a traditional crawler for USTE. I'm not going to do a hard body crawler, but I want something with detail. I don't want to venture to use an aftermarket body or another manufacturer's body because Redcat, right? This is Redcat Live. We got to do Redcat for Redcat. So, Aaron, I love, if a Prius was available from us, I'd do a Prius. But here it is. We're gonna do the 6.4C. I'm gonna venture to build a crawler using a 64. Why? Why not? Body scale enough, right? It's a good time. It's kind of funny. It's not the prettiest thing out there, but we can make it look sick and badass, right? Now imagine this. You got, obviously nothing fits. You can tell this is not going to be a simple task to use or do. And like I said, some folks are going to be like, why? Why would you do that? Because I can and I want to. And I want to be different. I don't want to show up with another Toyota hardbody TUSTE. I don't want to show up with, a 4Runner body. I want to show up with something no one's going to have, right? So big tires, custom CNCs. And I get that. Jimmy Rodriguez, absolutely, brother. There we go. Like Mad Max style, right? Like just, yes. So, and I may not even use this body. It may not be this color scheme. I don't know if it's going to be green, blue, red. This is just a body I grabbed off the wall to show you guys. But I mean, like, you guys can see, there's some potential, Is it the prettiest thing out there? No. B-lock wire wheels? Yes. Heck yeah. Yeah, Chicano redneck. Orale. And, we don't got to go low and slow for any other reason other than, because we can, right? And now think about it. Okay, think about it like this, guys. I also am thinking about ordering some pinwheels with mud tires on them, right? The J-Con ones. We removed the limiters because they have a mud bogging session at USTE. Remove the limiters, run some spacers, jack that bad boy up with some mud slingers on it, dude. That'd be dope too, right? To get some content and footage. So that's my idea. That's where I'm headed. Whether or not I can do it, I don't know. Now, think about this. Remember, I showed you guys this that I found somewhere, and this is plastic, but chrome. I am thinking somehow, way, shape, or form, if once I pick the color body I'm going to use, that I can do is maybe mount this in here somewhere. So now you have a roll cage showing off through the window, and maybe add a driver, because why not? So maybe even here, move this out of the way for a second. Maybe just for giggles, and again, because we can. I don't even know this will fit on here. I didn't even try. Let's see. So I get it, guys. It's a little wild, and as I mentioned, some folks are going to give me so much hate on it. I don't care. It's fun. And if you're not in the hobby to have fun, what you here for, dude? Right? There we go. Maybe a nice rack system. Oh, yes. I'm digging that. I'm digging that look right there. Maybe throw some Daytons on top, right? Because you got to have your spokes with you, just in case. But yeah, so that's where we're headed, guys. We're going to do a Gen 8 build, 64 body, I hope. Rack, tubular cage that will make fit some way, shape, or form. Axe 3300 Fox system inside of it. The Z-Run. Some custom CNC custom wheels, bead locks on some ProLine Hyraxes, double deuce foam inserts from Crawler Innovations. Change some shock oils in it, maybe run like a 30 weight, 25 weight in the front, maybe 45, 50 weight in the rear. And yes, Mike, maybe even add some audio to it as well, because we got to be able to slap, right? Going down the trail like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's gotta just go with it, like cruising down the street in my 6'4", right? Or going down the trail in my 6'4". Ooh, can we do a new version of the song for the crawlers? I'm down. If anyone wants my my new demo tape, King Tacos raps a lot. It comes out at a store near you. Parental advisory is advised on that, so be careful. You don't want to play it around small children that don't like tacos, because that's what I rap about. I love it, man. Mud flaps. Yeah, good idea, guys. Mud flaps. I love it. Guys, hit me with some ideas, man. I love this. Put a scale V8. Heck yeah, if I could find a scale 3D printed V8 that I can put somewhere, that would be dope too. I love it. Someone just put a Scout body on their 64, man. I love it, Aaron. So guys, that's where we're at. I have 1 week, less than 1 week, because I have to have this thing done by next Wednesday morning to be ready for you guys. Oh, Tony, you want chrome? Check this out. What if, because I found these sitting somewhere, what if, let me put this in here really quick. Got some stacks going, right? Or, what if we mounted them on the hood. Or we could do it like they do it on Street Outlaws, cut ovals in the fender and have them protrude through the fender. I mean, like, sky's the limit. We can do a lot of cool stuff with it. So I know that it looks like a blank canvas and just a stack full of parts and WTF moments, but that's what we're going to be building, and I hope I can get it done in time to share with you guys. But that's the plan. We're going to come up with some names. Hopefully you guys can help me next week come up with a name for it. And once we come up with the name, I will have some decals cut for it so that it's plastered all over the car as well. So, man, I appreciate that, guys. Yes, Mad Max it for sure. All right, so that is the USTE build that we were talking about and what's going on. If you don't know or want information about the Ultimate Scale Truck Expo, right? No, USTE, yeah. USTE, Ultimate Scale Truck Expo. If you want any more information on USTE, make sure you check out the description of this video. I went ahead and put a link to their webpage. You can find them on Facebook. If you're in Florida, come on down. Redcat will be there with a bunch of other manufacturers, as well as just the aftermarket RC following as well. Huge show and shine, lots of trails to choose from, lots of mini events. It's a multi-day event. Don't miss out. If you're anywhere near Florida or you have the time, check it out. I believe it goes down February 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. And it should be a blast. So come on out, check it out. El Gato Verde, that's a good name. Slab Max. Oh, man. We're going to come up with a lot of good ones, I'm telling you guys. Let me see. So, yeah. So, guys, at this point, we'll set this off to the side. I will get working on that tonight and start wiring up things and adding lights and what have you, and we'll see what we end up with. As I mentioned, it may be this body, it may not be this body, it may be something completely different. But that's where we're going with it, and that's where we're going to have fun with it, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it with us as we go. Now that UST is out of the way, you guys know Redcat will be there. Come by, say hi. I'll even have some King Taco stickers on me, so if you want a King Taco sticker on your rig or your car, come see me. Shout out to Tony Gutierrez and Mr. Fan from RC Plate Shop for making that happen for me. I love them. But next topic that we have is I wanted to highlight a product that came across my hands that I am really a big fan of. And this is going to be more of a solution for all of you diehard crawlers, racers, anyone that needs to keep their cars or RC vehicles, trucks, thereof, off of their tires. There's a gentleman by the name of Judd Rummage that designed this system called the ProRack system. ProRack system is an awesome wall mount system for your RC cars. If you're anything like me, I have, gorilla racks in the garage with all my trucks lined up on them. It's cool, it looks good that way, but I still have to keep them off of their wheels or off their tires. You don't want flat spots when it comes to crawlers. It's your, foam killer is what it really is at that point. So Joe Rummage thought about a great way to offer a solution to the masses. And I honestly feel that for the buck, it is a very solid product and very solid solution for the bang for the buck. What Judd actually ended up doing was he offers a 2-rack system, his generic standard rack and his hybrid rack. Hybrid rack can do 2 things, not just what the one can do. The primary use of it is once you take it out and you build it, it ends up looking like this. And if you can see back here, you see the holes, right? So when you find your stud on your wall, and if you have a studio or a hobby room in the house, you want to go ahead and find your stud, put some screws in, hang this bad boy up, and that will hold your rig off the ground. Now let's say that this is the wall and you have it mounted, right? And you also have a backpack, right? Your trail bag. What's really cool is if you notice there's a cutout here and here, primarily used for the carry-all backpack, but if you have a trail bag in general, it'll also fit here. It can hold, I believe, up to, it doesn't say on here, but I believe on the inside, it does specify a weight. It can hold up to 25 pounds, so it can hold a very heavy rig. It does come with a pad for the bottom of the skid of the vehicle, so when you put it on, it holds it, right? So great solution that the guys over at ProRack and Judd had designed. Comes with all the hardware that you need. Again, I think at 25 bucks for the hybrid, and why they call it the hybrid is a feature I'll show you guys here in a little bit. But again, guys, if you guys have those angry wives or spouses that just hate you having trucks all over the ground because they're starting to take up space, put them on the wall with that awesome, dope picture that you have hanging up. Or if you have a cool flat screen TV, wouldn't it be cool to have your trucks hanging all around it? Listen, I'm not trying to get anyone in any trouble, but I'm just saying, if you want a great solution to make sure you maintain and tidy up your area, ProRack has a solution for you. Now, the reason it's called the hybrid is because it's a rack system, as you've noticed, mounts truck, right? You have your wall mount section right here. But the other feature is, if I were to take these 4 screws off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I were to flip this and then reinstall it on the top, it would look like that. This is now turned into a rack, or a stand for your crawler while you work on it. So it has a double purpose. I have, at this point, 6 of them. I just made another order for 4 because I don't have enough. And I have more trucks than I have, space for. So great solution. If you want to keep it, let's say if you're going to an event and you have your prized possession, your prized truck that you want to show off on the table, and you don't want to keep it on the tires, well, here's a solution for you as well. Wall rack turns into car stand. So again, these come in at a whopping 25 bucks each. I think it's well worth the buck, considering it gets them off the ground, off your hobby tables and on a wall where it's nice and clean. The manufacturer of this is ProRack. If you check out the description of this video, I went ahead and I put the website to reach them out directly, and I do believe it is ProRack.com. rcprorack.com. So make sure you check him out. Make sure you show him some love. His first run of them is down to a limited quantity, so make sure you get them while you can. And I do believe they're working on the 2nd and 3rd shipment already as we speak. Again, ProRack, rcprorack.com. Check them out. And yeah, that's my highlight product for the day. So without further ado, guys, I got a lot to do in just a short amount of time. So I got to make sure I get this truck done in time to show you guys what I'm going to do with it. And hopefully it's doable. I don't know. I see challenges. And challenges to me are fun when it comes to RC, but there's a lot to do in just a short amount of time. Let's see if we can make it happen. So from me to all of you guys, I hope you guys have a great and amazing rest of your week. If you can, have a taco for me. Have 2, even 3. I know it's not Taco Tuesday, but for me, it's taco every day. So enjoy yourselves. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel, and hopefully with a 6.4C, 6.4 crawler. I don't know. We got to come up with some cool names. All right, guys. Much love from all of us. You guys stay safe out there, and we'll see you guys here very soon, guys.